Hi guys, this is going to be a tutorial on the Fyne Stík, a mod I believe invented by myself, but yeah. Fyne Stík is an SC mod. That's pretty much it. It weighs 15.5 grams. It's just a little bit longer than the RSVP MX, and yeah. So I'm gonna get started with the materials you'll need to make this. So first you will need an RSVP, Signo Broad. It's gotta be a Signo Broad, it can't be a DX. A tool pen. This is a difficult pen to find, but it comes in a box that looks kind of like this, just so that it's easier for you to find it. It is the tool with the cap. There's one that's retractable. You need the one that has the cap. It's just called a TUL ballpoint pen. Yeah, so you're gonna need that. You will need a profile, a G3, a super tip, an HCG grip, and this. This is from the inside of a Zebra telescopic pen. Just take it apart. It is a plastic, like, tube type thing. You're gonna need that. So, yeah, from a Zebra telescopic pen. And that's pretty much it, pen-wise. You also might want an insert. This one just uses white paper, but you can use a pattern also if you want. And the pen can be inserted in 3 places: the barrel, front cap, and back cap. But I will not be going over that in this tutorial. If it's not hard to figure out how to do it if you want to do that. But yeah, that's pens. You also need some other stuff. A ruler, some tape. It has to be colored, like preferably the color of your grips and pens and stuff, but doesn't really matter. Tape, a saw or saw blade. I just use a saw blade. Some scissors, a file. This is optional, but it makes it look better. A file, knife, pretty sharp is better, and sandpaper. So that's all you're gonna need for this pen. Yeah, I'm gonna get started with making the front side of the mod, which is this. So, be right back. Alright, so for the front of the pen, you're going to need the Signo Broad cap and some of the grip, but I'll get to that in a little bit. Signo Broad cap, HCG grip, the tip from the tool pen. Yeah, can't hold things. The tip from the tool pen, the RSVP body, so take off the grip and take the ink out. And from the grip of the Signo Broad, you're going to need 2.5 millimeters of it. So, yeah, 2.5 millimeters strip from the Signo Broad grip. So, I did that off camera because you don't really need to watch me cutting a grip. Hopefully you know how to do that. And you're going to need, from the profile grip, the back ring. It's the ring farthest to the back. It's the big ring. So you're going to need that also. Again, cut it off camera because you probably can figure it out by yourself how to cut a grip. But yeah, the rest of this we won't need for now. So yeah. Now this cap you also don't need. So, first thing you're going to do is take your RSVP barrel and you're going to sand down the bumps. So Get my sandpaper, and everything else fell. But yeah, so sand down the bump. I'm going to fast forward this because you don't need to watch me sand down an RSVP barrel. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I just sanded down the bump. In case I was unclear, you're sanding down the tip part, like that bump, right here. And you want to make sure it's sanded down pretty much all the way, or not pretty much, you want to sand it down all the way, because if there is any bump, pen won't work, or it won't fit together. So yeah, sand down that bump completely, take your Signo Broad cap and remove this thing. I just stick a tube or a stick in there, and then I destroy my desk. But yeah, I'm gonna get this out real quick. Probably gonna fast forward it. That was a fail. Alright, got it out. There we go. So, yeah, I just took the file and I jammed it against the table. So, this you won't be needing, and this little rubber piece you also will not need. So from here, this is one of the more necessary parts. You gotta follow these instructions very closely. You see on the cap, or you probably don't see from the video, but if you have it, you'll see. You see that? Maybe? Is that on camera? Yeah, there are 3 rings inside the cap. You're going to cut the cap right before the rings. So, this clip was here. You're going to cut on this side of the rings. Not on this side of the rings, so that you will still have the rings there once this part is discarded. So, be very careful about that, as I just said, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll fast forward that part as well, so I'll be right back. Okay, so, I forgot to mention earlier that you should cut not directly on top of the lines, but to the side, so then you can sand it down to exactly the right thing, or the right spot. So I'm going to do that. Be right back. I'm going to fast forward it again. Okay, so I just sanded it down, and you'll get this fuzzy plastic white stuff, and you can just use your X-Acto blade and cut that off, or whatever you want to do. But yeah, so, that's probably the hardest part. It's not a very difficult pen to make. But yeah, so, as you can see there, hopefully, I have the 3 rings still on the cap. I didn't cut them off. So yeah. Alright, so next you're going to cut from this side, and what you want to do is, this part's a little bit less clear. You want to cut it to 3.9 centimeters, so that the whole cap is just 3.9 centimeters. And it could help to kind of measure it up against your pen with the tip and everything in there. like that, just to see where you want it to stop. But 3.9 centimeters is the distance that you want it at. So you could just measure it up like that, but whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the cap to that length, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I just cut down the cap, and as you can not see, it's 3.9 centimeters. So yeah, this is pretty much, you're almost done with the front. That's what I'm trying to say. So, what you're going to do now is first take your ring of profile. Remember, it's the back ring, the biggest ring, and put it onto the barrel. Not onto this front part, actually on the barrel itself. So that's just how it works. And then you're going to, this part's a little annoying to do, but what I'm doing here is I'm going to put the HGG grip inside the cut cap that we just finished cutting. And you want to make it so that, yeah, I should be more descriptive about this. You want to make it so that the back ring of the HGG grip, that part right there, the ring, you want that on top or under the 3 rings of the cap that you just cut. So on this you can see right there, or you probably can't see, like right there, it's the ring under the 3 rings of the cap. So what I do is I just put it into the cap from the back, and then I slide it on, and as you can see, it just pops. It kind of like just pops in. I don't know how else to describe it. Then you just push until you get the rings on top of each other. This part is a little tedious, but I'm almost there. I might fast forward this, but I'm almost done. Alright. Like that. Like that. See? The rings are on top of the HGG grips ring. See? It's just like, it looks kind of just it looks like a band of white around the cap. Then you can just push profile grip up to the cap like that. And then, almost done, you're just going to put the grip from the signal rod. Remember, it was 2.5 millimeters. Put it onto the tool tip. Put the tool tip into the cap. Like that. And then you're done. That's the front part. Yeah, so that is the front of the pen, and I'll be right back, and we're going to make the cap of the pen. Alright, so now for the back cap of the pen. But first, I just want to say that I went back over and put a little tape on the flat part of the tool tip, just so that it was a bit more snug, and so that this cap doesn't wiggle at all. You may have to do that, or you may not. For this one, I didn't, but it really doesn't matter either way, as long as this cap is firmly attached to the barrel. But yeah, so now for the back cap. For this, you're going to need pretty much everything else. You're going to need your super tip, you're going to need your Signo tip from the Signo Broad, obviously, RSVP grip, the ZT plastic piece thingy, your tape, and that's pretty much it. So, oh, and your insert. Don't forget about that. But, yeah, so the first thing you're going to do is put in your insert, or put your insert into the barrel. So yeah, I'm going to do that quickly, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my insert in, and one thing you want to do definitely is you need to have the insert below the level of the RSVP threading for the back cap. So this part where this was screwed on, you want the insert to be flush or a little bit below that, and I'll tell you why later once we get to that, but just make sure that you do that, otherwise your insert will get all crushed up and it'll look bad. So yeah, next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your file or your sandpaper and you're going to sand off the threads of the RSVP. So these threads here, they're going to be gone when you're done. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, so I sanded down the threads, they're gone, and I just want to note, if you saw this while it was fast forwarded, this is just a super tip barrel that I cut down the middle, and I slid it on top of the RSVP barrel while I was sanding, so that the barrel wouldn't get sanded itself, just the threads, so that it doesn't look bad. But that is also optional. You can also just be very careful while you're doing it. So, next you're going to need your super tip barrel, and what you're going to do is first you're obviously going to clean it out, which I didn't do already, but I'll do that next. So you're going to clean it out, and then you're going to cut exactly 4 centimeters of the barrel from the back plug right here. 4 centimeters exactly, and yeah, so just want to note also that I'm using this type of super tip. I know there's like 50,000 different types. I'm using the one with the small back plug, I guess. So just wanted to note that also. But yeah, I'll be right back once I've cut this barrel. Okay, so I have cut my barrel. It is exactly 4 centimeters, and you'll notice that there's still some gold writing right there from the super tip, and you're going to want to get rid of that. It's not necessary, but it makes it look a lot better. And yeah, so I'm just going to use the paper method to get rid of that, and yeah, I might show you also how to do it. So, for the paper method, you just roll paper around a barrel, and then you just like kind of wipe away the ink with the paper. So you can see already the gold is going away. Yeah. So, almost done. Okay. Now the barrel is completely white. I'm not gonna need that anymore. But yeah, so now that the barrel is completely white, you're ready for the next step. And just before I move on, I think I might have forgot to say that you need the part of the barrel from the back plug end. Like where the back plug went in, you need that side, not the side with the tip. Just thought I would say that. But yeah, so next you're going to take this and put it on to your RSVP sanded thread area. But yeah, so you're going to put it on with the side that had the back plug in it onto the barrel. So it should snap on just like that. Yeah, it might be a little bit crooked. Mine is a little bit, so I'm going to go back and sand down this. I already saw the problem. You want to make sure that the threads are completely gone, because if they aren't, it'll be crooked like mine was. So, threads are all off, put it on, and it's straight now, mostly. Yeah, it's straight now. Alright, so that's done. And then next, this part is a little weird, but you're basically just going to be putting that into there. So take your tape. This doesn't have to be colored tape, but this is just what I happen to have lying around. And you're just going to want to make this snug in the super tip barrel. So wrap some tape around the end. And this is why you needed the insert to be not level. If you cut this super tip right, it'll be perfectly fit to this piece. You won't have to cut this piece at all. So it will butt right up against that inside part of the RSVP. As you can see, that's not snug, so I'm just going to go over, put a bit more, and it's just trial and error, pretty much, like with most mods. So that's a bit better, but not good enough yet. Put a bit more on. That didn't work at all. Alright, I'm going to fast forward this. I'll be right back when I have this fitted on correctly. Okay, that took a lot longer than I thought, but I got it. As you can see, there's just a little bit sticking out of the super tip, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. You just want to make sure that this is not going to come out. But yeah, so next you're going to take your RSVP grip from the RSVP, obviously, and you're going to cut off just enough so that it will butt up against the signo tip. So I should explain this better. First, screw the signo tip on to the ZT piece. It should screw on almost perfectly. The threads are perfect for this. And you're just going to cut enough to fill in that gap. So you can see there's a little gap between the super tip barrel and the signo tip. You're going to want to fill that in with RSVP grip. So I'm going to be right back. I'm going to cut a little bit of this, and yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut a piece that worked. Obviously you're just going to slip it over the signo tip. Yeah, and you don't want to have it overlapping the signo tip too much. It can a little bit, but not a lot. So that's that part. You're pretty much done at this point. You just got to put on the cap. So you're going to take the cap of your G3. This is the only thing you need from the G3. Take the clip off, and then sand down this part here. Fast forward it again, but yeah, you're just going to want to remove that little nub on there completely, so there should be nothing left. And I will be right back. Okay, so I removed that nub. If you can see there, it's completely round, no stuff sticking out anymore. Next, I'm going to take a stick or a file, in my case, and remove that rubber thing from the G3 cap, just like that. You can use like a chopstick, I guess, just like stab it and then pull it out. You won't be needing this, so you can set that aside. Now, the last part is to just attach this to your pen. And how I do that is I take some tape, and I got this. This is how Nacho Addict did it for one of his mods in one of his tutorials. So put the cap on, then measure up as much as you want onto the pen or onto the cap. Pull the cap out and wrap the tape around the super tip barrel in a circle, like that. And I'm going to get rid of the excess, or no, not yet. You want to wrap it around in a circle, and then if you can see there, it doesn't fit on, so I'm going to go back and remove some of the tape. And basically you're just going to remove tape until it fits snugly. So go back, cut this off. You don't really have to be neat about this, or not too neat. You can see that fits, but it's not very snug. So put a little bit more on. So I'm going to go back and do that again. But you get the idea. So once it's snug, just do the next step that I'm about to tell you. So I'll be right back. Okay, so you can see now it's fitting on snugly. Now you're just going to trace around the cap with your knife, cutting the tape. So be careful not to cut on the cap, because that will obviously look bad. So yeah, just trace around it, and I'm almost done. Almost, I think. And then just peel the tape off. Alright, and then I've got a little bit overhanging, so I'm just going to go back over and cut again, just to make sure that it's all good. So, done. That's all you need to do. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna clean this up, then I'll finish up the tutorial. But you're done once you get to this point. So, congratulations. You made yourself a Fyne Stík. Alright, be right back. Okay guys, that is going to be the tutorial on the Fyne Stík. As you can see, these are some of the things you can get out of this. Obviously, you can change up the color of the stripes here, and you can insert there and there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If I did not go over something, or if I missed something and you're confused, please leave a comment and I will be sure to reply to it if it is a valid question, or something that I didn't go over already. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it. If you thought that this tutorial was helpful, please leave a like, and as always, leave any suggestions in the comment section down there. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Oh, and by the way, Jeff Silvers, this is your pen. So, there you go. Get excited. Alright, see you guys in the next video.